Hey, what's up, gang? Today, I'm just doing a quick, short video. I've been working on a deck list in the background, but I'm going to be taking it to the Ultimate Cup on the 13th, so I actually want to keep it a little bit more under wraps. As more people start watching my videos and stuff, you know, I don't want to give out my sauce yet. I will be releasing it though, either the day of or the day before the Ultimate Cup, kind of going over what I plan on taking. But I hope you guys are excited for that. It's gonna be very, very spicy. So today, I wanted to make a just a quick video talking over the archetypes or support for archetypes that kind of got released in the newest set for the EX6, and going over kind of where I think they're going to fall in the current meta, whether or not they're going to actually be useful or if they're going to be not very good. So just a heads up, this is all speculation. This isn't necessarily how it's going to be, but this is all using information from the OCG format as well as from the personal testing that I've been doing in online tournaments as well as on my own. So starting off, we've got Ragnarlord. I know Ragnarlord is a fan favorite archetype, and the new support is really good. I've been seeing a lot of success using the new support in decks outside of Ragnarlord even. Using Spotamon in my Mirage list to get extra sources underneath my guys. That way my Galgamon procs earlier, as well as some other portions of their stuff, but we'll kind of go over that in the next video I'll be making. The support for Ragnarlord itself, though, is fine. They don't really synergize that well together between this current support and the ones from the past. They don't work that well together, unfortunately, which is fine. The deck is just slow, it's bricky, it's inconsistent, it's not very powerful, and getting off your Ragnarlord also isn't enough a lot of the time. It's really sad to say that this deck is just really bad. It's not good. It's so bad, in fact, that I think it can consistently lose to my big Uko list that was made as a challenge. That is an objectively bad deck, but it still beats Ragnarlord. I'm sorry. You can play it for fun. You can absolutely play it for fun. Take it to locals, have a good time, but don't expect to see any form of competitive success. I think the best this deck will ever achieve, in its current state at least, is maybe topping a small locals. Moving on, you've got the three Great Angels archetype. This deck is really cool. You have a lot of protections to keep yourself safe. You're really good at flooding the board. Yellow Vaccine has an amazing bottom end that could really just put out tons and tons of bodies for you really quickly for very little memory. Unfortunately, it's also bad. Let me explain. Why do a board flood strategy worse than board flood strategies in the meta when instead you could just cheat out exceptionally powerful level 6s that do more in the current meta, like Magna X or Venus, or even the level 6 that lets you play out I think it's level 4 or lower, or level 3 or lower, Yellow Digimon, and give it Rush. Even that card has like a lot of utility compared to Dominion-mon and the other Great Angel support in this set. I'm not saying it can't ever be good, but as current, it's really uneventful. And as you guys will notice, 2 of the 6 new archetypes or archetypes that receive support are going to be in the bad list. And I'm going to be honest with you, don't think it's going to change. Moving on to Shakamon, super interesting cross archetype. It follows the story of Wukong, specifically. Oh god, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where he's trapped, and then a Buddhist priest comes by because God sent him there. He releases him, and then they go on a journey with, a pig the monkey, and the kappa, and they end it when they meet God. And I only know this story because of not Tower of God, God of High School. There we go. So, but it's a very popular story, very, around for a while. Super cool. Tons of great renditions of it. This deck is bad. I mean, this deck is really bad. Sanzomon is the searcher for the deck. Searches out one of every other copy of the cards in the deck, but it only looks at top 4, which is rough. Costs 5 to get out, which is rough. When attacking, you can give something, sec -1, which is cool. All the inheritables for the deck do that. Kind of really sick. Shakamon, if you get all 4 sources underneath it whenever you attack, you can do 5 checks, which is crazy. But you are going like -5 doing that. So yeah. But if you clutter your deck with like a draw engine, like Ukos and stuff, your Sanzo gets more inconsistent. A lot of the yellow aces are pretty bad. There's only really one good yellow ace, and that's Balk. Like the Ophanimon is like fine, and the blue-yellow one is pretty mid. Shakamon floats if it gets removed, but there's a lot of decks that just store strip at the moment, and that's not great. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you, gang. It just feels really bad to play the deck. It's slow, it's inconsistent, it's bricky, there's no draw power whatsoever, your payoff is lame. You're better, most of the time, you're hoping to draw into a Venus rather than a Shaka, because Venus is just better Shaka in the sense of slowing down your opponent, rather than Shaka just existing. Your opponent's like, okay, I mean, I can't kill you this turn, but I can get rid of your Shaka by source stripping it and then sending you to hell. And it's like, okay, cool. All of the level 5s except for 2 suck, including the prior versions. Because the prior versions will play themselves out for cheaper, which is like kind of cool, I guess. But the Chohokai and the Wukong suck. They're not great. They're not very good. The only ones that are good are the Sago, don't know how to pronounce it, and the Sanzo. Sanzo's a searcher, and it feels pretty good because you can hit like 2 or 3 consistently, which is nice. And then Sago stops something from suspending, which is also super good for actually like trying to stop your opponent from killing you. But yeah, it's just not good. I would not recommend going into it. Moving on to the Mastamon support. Mastamon is always a really cool deck. I think it's always on fringe playability. I think this new support is crazy. I think the new support's really good for the deck. I think it fits really nicely into it, and it allows you to be pretty much dropping a Mastamon every turn ad infinitum, as long as you have copies of it in your trash. So if your opponent removes it and gets like delete it, for example, it's really nice because you can just slap that bad boy right onto the field again, pretty much. It, I think, beats most control archetypes. Like, I've had a lot of difficulty with it, like Dark Masters or some other like slower decks, just because getting the Mastamon out and just kind of like establishing the loop is like broken. Also, I'm so sorry for yawning so much, dude. I don't know what it is. I'm so tired today. I think this deck is fine. I think it's a pretty good deck. I don't think it's gonna break into the meta. I think it has a hard time against decks that are fast, because you do have to give your opponent a lot of memory to get out your Mirais, or get lucky by being able to cheat out using one of your level 5s, which is never really where you want to be in a format where we're trying to kill each other very quickly. But other than that, like a little hiccup, I think it fits very nicely into a very like anti-control outvalue game plan that can take games off of faster decks if you get a little bit lucky. The new fish support. This one's a bit weird because it's technically here, but also here. So let me explain. I'm gonna leave it in the bad category. The fish archetype sucks. Again, another fan favorite, and I think it's really cool. I think it's really sick. It's just not good. It's not good at the moment. There's just not enough going for it that actually makes it viable. However, the level 5 actually fits really nicely into some established playstyles like Mirage. Being able to play out a Gauga using the level 5, not Gauga, Gaomon, or the level 3 Blue Dog from underneath your sources, getting you and your opponent to draw another card, and then placing it back underneath to unsuspend using the inheritable, which means that whenever you add another card to hand, you get another memory off of it. Feels really good. It's super good. It gives you an extra check, gives you an extra memory, and gives you an extra draw. That's completely good for the deck. I don't think there's anything wrong with using it in just like the raw Mirage deck. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Holy, I again. Someone save me. And then for the Demon Lords, put it in the tier 1 potential category. The only reason there is a tier 1 category here is because of Demon Lords, and I've named it potential because this deck I think is going to not see that much success going into the first tournament of EX6 on the 13th. I think this deck is going to be played, but I don't think it's going to see as much success because I think a lot of people are going to be teching for it. They're going to be playing a lot of Psychmons, a lot of Chikuriamons and stuff like that, and I think the deck has a really hard time working around those cards. Like, there are ways to kind of deal with it, but if every deck is running 2 to 4 of those blockers, you can only really consistently remove them a couple times before, I mean, you're giving your opponent like 10 memory every time. It gets really rough towards the end there, and if you're having to give out 10 memory, I mean, it's not great. I feel like after the first tournament, though, I think the deck will probably see more success going forward as people stop playing as many of those can't reduce play cost floodgates. The reason I think we can really see how that went for Royal Knights, where in BT 16, Royal Knights saw a decent amount of success, actually, more than I think anyone had expected it to, because everyone had stopped playing the floodgates to stop them. But as they started topping tournaments again, I think we saw like 2 or 3 tops before myself and a lot of other people included started playing those can't reduce play costs cards, and they really are game changing for what they allow you to do. I ended up, I think, losing a round against Royal Knights in a Ultimate Cup, and so for the next Ultimate Cup I ended up bringing it, and I ended up facing another Royal Knights player, and I had 2 Chikuris in my deck, and so it bumped my win rate up like 20%. It was actually really, really strong. So I think that as people play this deck more, it'll see less success, but as people kind of fall away from it, you can find a really good niche against decks that either can't or just currently aren't running ways to stop you, because I think your engine itself is exceptionally powerful, and if you don't have cards that just like auto win the matchup for you, I think it's going to be a tough matchup for almost any deck in the format aside from maybe the tier 1s like Nume. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys think I'm completely wrong about where I've kind of ranked the archetypes, let me know. I'll go ahead and rank these a little bit more to be more accurate in my opinion of like where I think they fall. I think this is the most accurate I could probably get it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.